Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Capricorn. If Capricorn is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so Capricorn, today we have the Queen of Cups, which, it really is one of my favorite archetypes. I love the idea of that kind of motherly, that regal, that all-knowing and all-feeling feminine energy, right? This is a cultivated person. This is a person who, feels big feelings, right? You're not stuffing them down, but you're also very much aware of your feelings not really belonging to you, right? They come, they go, they're kind of transient. And at times, right, we can use them to our benefit, and other times, sometimes we just have to sit with them. Well, if anybody knows this about life, it is the Queen of Cups, okay? She is one that seems like a cool as a cucumber, but has a infinite world of psychic and emotional things going on, right? So, let's just... Did I already do that? I don't know. We're going to lift it up. We're going to see what the tea leaves have to say. All right. And so if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And also if you want to hit the like button or leave a comment, I would love to hear from you. Okay, so immediately I know that this is right in time. Look at this image here. We have a person standing here. We have another person standing here. You can see the head, even the mouth open, right? And the eye. We have the person over here, her head or their head is right here. It looks like their arm is kind of, like they're holding something in their hand. And in front of them, we have two people. Okay, and it looks like this one, here's the head, is holding out something, right? And so immediately I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, are these people trick-or-treating in this tea bowl, right? In these tea leaves. So yeah, it really is the energy of all of the holiday doings, right? And so this might not be trick-or-treating in particular, but I think it's so much more about the essence of the holidays, which there are a lot of them coming up, right? Not just religious, not just like social or state holidays. Yeah, a lot of different stuff going on. Festivals and feasts and many reasons to be celebrating, to be around one another. So I'm looking at this and I'm almost feeling like there's maybe some kind of resistance on your part, okay? Now, I don't think that you're like a big, bah humbug. You're not gonna, let other people enjoy their, fun things they like to do. And listen, we all know people that like to ruin the holidays for other people, right? I don't think that's where you're coming from. I think that at times, though, it can feel almost kind of like, what's the point, right? Maybe the kids have grown up, the grandkids maybe live far off. Maybe, you feel like, well, I live alone. I don't get a lot of trick-or-treaters. I don't know if anybody's going to be coming around for, any of these other holidays coming up. So why should I get, dressed and have people over or go do something or whatever, right? But I feel like this is the universe kind of telling you, right? Now, maybe not telling you, reminding you, okay, that you maybe are somebody who is a little bit more sentimental, or maybe you enjoy, the tradition and all the pomp and circumstance, and, something within you really loves all of that. And yet, you choose to avoid it. Not all the time, probably, but at times, yeah. And listen, we've all been there. We've all had our years where we say, oh my gosh, really? I don't want to do anything. I want to stay home. I want to shut the curtains. I'm not going to answer the phone. I'm going to watch, some garbagey TV, and I'm just going to turn the world off, right? And then when it's all over, then I will reemerge from my cave. Yeah, I mean, even as I'm saying that, I'm thinking, hey, that sounds pretty nice, actually. But, yeah, I think that this is a year, and I don't want to tell you what to do, but I think this is a year where it might be very beneficial for you to get out there. Go do something. Go find like a little, and it doesn't have to cost money. I know a lot of this stuff, it's expensive, right? Even just having candy to hand out, expensive. But there are a lot of things going on in a lot of communities. Maybe just going to a little street fair, maybe taking a stroll in, the downtown area, looking at all the displays and this kind of thing. Just to kind of shake yourself maybe out of the little bit of the slump that maybe I'm feeling here. And, if you are like a good, I don't know what the stats are, but I know it's a pretty high number of people, relatively, right, that start to really get into seasonal depression, or, just kind of feeling pretty glum during these holidays that are coming up. And if you've watched my readings at all for any amount of time, I'm always advocating for all of us, really. Don't wait around for somebody to invite you to something, okay? Don't let that be the deciding factor. Am I going to have a nice, harvest festival? Am I going to have a nice winter solstice? Am I going to have a nice Day of the Dead, or whatever you're celebrating? Am I going to have a nice one only if I get invited to the family dinner or whatever, right? And then maybe nobody has the dinner. Maybe nobody wants to do anything. Well, that's when we need to be proactive. We got to find our own fun. We got to make our own fun. Nobody invited you to dinner? Have your own dinner. Invite some people over. Go find some place where you can volunteer. Go have dinner with people that don't have other people to have dinner with, right? Go to like maybe an old folks home. I know I bring this up a lot, and you probably are like, this lady, she's always talking about going and visiting older people. Well, I think it's one of the most important things that we can do. These are our elders, and a lot of people out here have nobody, right? Nobody to sit and talk to, nobody to listen, nobody to just, pass a couple hours in the afternoon with. And it might really mean the world to somebody, or a group of people even, to show up and just be there. Just be in the mix, So I'm seeing this, and I feel really an energy of festivity. It might be, time. It might be time to think about kind of letting go of some of those inhibitions. And classically, right, Capricorn, I'm a Capricorn ascendant, so I understand this on some level. But listen, we get stuck in these ideas of how things should be or how they're going to be. We're really good at dooming something before it even happens. So sometimes we have to turn that voice off, right? Telling us, oh, it's going to be the worst. Everybody's going to be rude. Nobody wants me there. You know, whatever it is that you're telling yourself. And we got to turn that voice off and we got to get going. Find something to do. Find something exciting for you. A new tradition. You know, whatever it is. Now, we also have right over here, we have the Scorpion. Okay. So I feel like there is a Scorpio person. We also have, it looks like it says I7. I7. And we also have JC. JC. Right there. So I want to see what's up with this Scorpio person. What is going on with them? We have an arrow going down. Oh, and we have a face. Okay. Wearing a hat. It looks like maybe like a younger boy. We have here's the head, the eyes, the mouth, and it looks like wearing a hat, like a ball cap of some kind. So I almost feel like this is maybe a brother, a good friend. 7 is repeating. Maybe their life path is the 7, or they're born on a day that has a 7 in it, or the month. But it does feel like there's this feeling of like coming down, come down. I almost wonder if this is a family member that maybe has been wanting you to come see them. And they're like, come down here and see us. Like you have to travel a little bit to get there. We have 2 dragons. We have a person feeding this dragon. You can see here's the head, here's the neck, and the body here. Below, we have this little dragon right here. Now, we also have a person standing here. You can see the head, and their hand is kind of up under the mouth of the dragon. So we're in the year of the dragon. When I've been seeing dragons, I really feel like it is an indicator to me that, this is going to be your year, or at least the tail end, right? Now, the year of the dragon goes further into next year than the solar calendar. It's based off of the lunar. So I believe that it goes into February this year, maybe into March. I think February though. So these next 4 months or so, I feel like there is going to be kind of a flow of resources, a flow of, and it feels like inspiration, but it's like almost kind of like you've had the inspiration, but you haven't had the ability to really focus on it or do anything with it because the time, maybe the tools, the materials, maybe you've been waiting on some kind of, heck, it could be anything. Like you need to get some kind of licensing, or they're going to come in and inspect something and, sign it off or whatever, right? You've been kind of waiting. But I see things kind of turning in your direction. So you are able to really kind of put all of your effort into this thing that you are doing, right? And whatever that is, I feel like it is like a new source of excitement, of kind of meaning. I think that's really kind of what it comes down to. It's not just like you are unwilling to work hard, or you keep putting this thing off. No, the things start showing up where you can maybe put some money towards it, put some time into it. And as this begins, as you start to get really involved in this work, in this hobby, in this passion that you have, it feels like you've gotten the pilot light lit again, right? And the fire is really burning, and it's warming up all of the, the interiors. And here you are, just ablaze, right? You can think about somebody that, you've met in passing, or a friend that you haven't seen in a while, and they're all jazzed about whatever they're working on, whatever this new thing that they're learning about, or, I started this new business and I got to tell you about it. And, that kind of feeling, I see it really rising in you. And I see this as being the best part of your year, ultimately. I think that as these next, November, December, January, and into February, as these days go on, I see it just getting better and better and better, okay? Really feeding that part of yourself that has maybe kind of felt a little bit neglected, and I don't think that that's anything that you've done on purpose, but you've probably been really busy with a lot of other stuff, and you just have not had the ability to really focus on this thing. I do feel like this is a little bit less about making money, but it's not devoid of it. It's not like this is just something that you're going to sink all of your money into. And yeah, it's fun, but now, it's like, oh, what do I have to show for it? No, I don't think it's that. Although I don't necessarily think this is something where you're going to make a fortune on it either. But I think it's something that is at least self-sustaining. And I think it's something that, of course, being a Capricorn, you think out your financial plans. You think out, how things are going to go, your time, your schedule, how much you can put into something realistically. You're not somebody that's just going to kind of, let it all go to the wind, right? So this is well planned out as well. It's not just, an impulse. So I really feel like this is kind of, I just keep thinking about that feeling where you're like a kid and you're going to go on vacation, and it's the night before and you can't sleep. You're just so excited. I feel like this is how your next few months is going to go. You are excited, and you are getting more excited, and you are enjoying yourself, and you're seeing that you are actually yeah, I'm into this. I don't feel like every moment of this is torture having to do it. I like being here. I like putting my attention into this. I like being a part of this. I'm not thinking, okay, what time is it? Is it time to go? Can I get out of here? Is anybody going to notice? No, you want to be there. You want to be doing this thing. And that's a wonderful feeling. I'm happy to see this. Sometimes I'm doing readings and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is kind of bleak here. No, this feels good. This feels really good. Now, we also have the number 120, 120. And we have the goose. We have two geese. We have a rat. We have a person kind of standing in the wind. And we have 6V. 6V. So I almost kind of am getting this image of walking walking, taking a walk in the country maybe, or at least in a park or something. A lot of, but like a big bush, a bunch of bushes, and kind of just this feeling of it being very chilly. But I feel like you are a person that it's like you go out into a very kind of cool morning or a kind of a breezy afternoon, and there's nothing else in life that will clear your head like this, right? This is, if anything, you know, you're at home, you get to arguing, you're starting to get anxiety, you and your partner are just, you know, you can't like find a happy place to just kind of whatever. You're feeling a little annoyed, frustrated, the kids are loud, you know, whatever it is. And then you think, what the heck should I do? I'm going to go for a walk because you'll feel better. This is like your go-to thing. And I feel like, you know, this is something that, you've probably been doing a lot of your life. I can just imagine you spent time, even though I get the feeling that you have siblings, or at least people that you grew up around that were in your age range, maybe like a step brother, sister, or cousin, or the neighbor kid, or whatever. I feel like you would often like sneak away on your own and just kind of walk around, play, dig in the dirt, you know, whatever, collect leaves, something, right? You're out there in the wilderness, in nature, you know, out in the world, breathing air, looking at the beautiful sky, you know, and I feel like this is one of, you know, your happy places, is to be able to go on these kind of little walkabouts. And so, yeah, I feel like this is kind of just a confirmation, but I also see we have a little house here, and I'm feeling like we have the rat in the house. And wait, it almost looks like a foot. I almost feel like there's somebody living in your house that, and also the goose. So it just feels like there's a lot of arguing and like tattletaling, or just the feeling of like almost somebody like watching everything you're doing to kind of like collect information about you. I don't know. That sounds really paranoid to say that out loud, but it's like, listen, I have read a lot about this. In like moms groups and in you know, like relationship groups and stuff like this, where, and you'll see this a lot online, and I'll even tell you, you know, if you're in a situation where there might be like a breakup or there's some kind of mistreatment happening, you need to document things, right? Keep track of like texts and conversations and that kind of thing. I have seen a lot on like these kinds of like groups where people say, yeah, document everything, you know. I don't know the legality, and I am not qualified for very much of anything. So don't take my advice for any kind of medical, legal, or anything else, right? I'm just a silly lady doing my work here, right? And so I feel though like there's an energy of maybe you perceiving, or maybe it is happening, but somebody within your home kind of keeping tabs on you. I mean, that's all I can say. They're like documenting something about you. But I feel like it's not for any kind of, you know, important reason besides maybe just gossiping. I feel like that's what it is. It's like gossiping, or kind of maybe even like trying to turn, you know, I don't know, turn people against you. I don't know. In my mind, I'm thinking, is this like a teenager? Is this a teenage kid? You know, are they like thinking they're like gaining some kind of power because they're like, oh, hey, you said this to me, and they're like showing you a video or whatever. You know, I don't know, but it just seems like something that to the core of your being really bothers you, because I think you're a very private person. And to have somebody in your home who is not respecting your privacy, I feel like that's such a torture. Like, almost like you don't even want to go home at times, right? You don't want to be there. You don't want to be around it. And that makes sense. I wouldn't want to be around that either, you know? But, you know, I don't know. I gotta look and see. Where are we at here? Okay. I don't know that there's any real good answer for it, but let's pick one. We're gonna pick one card. Listen, usually I do like 6 or 7, but we'll do one. These are Oracle of the Radiant Sun, and we're just gonna see. What is the one thing? What is it gonna tell us? That doesn't make any sense. So we're going to do 2 more. Every time. Intuition, acquisition. I can speak, I swear. Authority. So to me, yeah, it almost feels like this isn't even somebody necessarily that you're related to. This might be somebody you're letting stay with you, or maybe you broke up and you're still living together or whatever. But I do feel like they're trying to gain the upper hand here. They want to be in a place of like an authority over you. And I feel like it's getting more extreme. There's a feeling of you wanting to get away from it for sure, right? And I feel like this is kind of like, we have the charity thing here. Kind of makes me think of the beginning of the reading where we were talking about finding somewhere to go and maybe volunteer for the holidays or whatever. So I could see you maybe like spending a lot more time outside of the house, away from this energy. And that's maybe why you're feeling kind of bummed out about these holidays coming up, because you're stuck in this situation, to some degree anyways, where this person really just thinks that they have the rule of the roost, right? And I just think that you're not having that. You know, I feel like this is something where you're like, I don't know how long it's going to take, but there needs to be kind of, this thing needs to be severed, you know? I cannot be living with this person anymore. So I see that kind of being, the ultimate goal down the road. Okay. Now we're going to do our lucky numbers. Okay. We have number 30. Number 30. Ooh, this one went way over here. Number 90. Number 90. 30, 90, and 79. 79. All right, we're going to do the inner child oracle cards, and these are just going to kind of be the punctuation for the whole reading. I love these cards. I know I got to kind of switch to another deck, but I love these ones so much. I like all the ones where they use like cool collage imagery, and I thought these were beautiful when I found them, so I thought, yeah, let's use them. All right, and we'll stop there. We'll stop there, and it says, 41, you can do hard things. It is not as impossible as it may feel. It is not as impossible as it may feel. Yeah, I mean, you know, we can talk ourselves out of pretty much everything, can't we? You know, I'm in recovery. I am involved in 12-step, which is like NAAA. And, you know, every day I meet people that are feeling like they can't do it. They don't know how to get to the point where they can and you know, to quit whatever it is they're quitting. And yet people do it every day, you know. You just sometimes you just have to stop, right? Sometimes you just have to decide, that's it. Or I am going to start doing this and sticking to it. And there's not a lot of good advice you can give somebody besides you just got to decide, man. You know, and that's not easy. It's not easy to take that advice and say, oh yeah, well, okay, here we go. You know, I got this. But it really is that simple most of the time, you know. So, yeah, just maybe trying to not listen to that voice telling you can't do it. All right, Capricorn, I'm going to tell you I love you because I do, and I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And if you would like to leave a comment, I would love to hear from you. All right. With that, again, I'll tell you I love you. We'll talk in a few days. Good night. Good night. Good night.